TLCH. Okay?
What time do you take those?
At the dosing on it right here. So this, which one? This? Yeah, you take one tablet twice daily. Just follow bottle directions throughout the day. Because you're trying to get cortisol high first thing in the morning, and then the acetyl-CH will help bring it down.
Do you like
What
wait
do
till
you say
noon
carb
to take your
means?
first
Yeah, I
one?
would take it at noon and night. Question?
Carb means? I forgot. Carb.
Cortisol activation response, CAR. Okay? Make sense? All right, so let's talk about serotonin and melatonin. Okay, and we already chatted a little bit about melatonin, but we got to talk about serotonin, which is our happy hormone. Okay? So the serotonin is going to help kick up the serotonin, and serotonin normally helps to include mood, control sleep, and gut motility. One of the more common things you're going to experience with the serotonin problem is constipation or diarrhea. If you have gut issues, most common is going to be constipation. If you can't poop, problem is typically serotonin. Okay? So imbalances, high or low, as I've said, are associated with depression. Okay? Very important. So symptoms and balance of serotonin. Physical changes like fluctuating body temperature, aches and pains, cramps, bowel and bladder issues, smothering sensation, obviously depressed moods, thoughts of suicide, racing troublesome thoughts, emotional numb, nothing bugs me, I don't care about anything anymore, I'm losing my care, crying or angry outbursts, thoughts of escaping circumstances, you want to run away, you want to jump on an airplane and leave town. Okay, obsessive compulsive traits of paranoia about germs and diseases. Those are classic serotonin imbalances. When you fill out your sheet, you'll see a lot of these questions on there. Okay, so that's what we got to do to get your serotonin up. If you have this, that's a classic serotonin. And again, best way to do is through testing. Okay, so dopamine, again, what's this called? That's our pleasure hormone. This is the hormone that enhances the reward response, stimulates your pleasure centers, enables us to not only see rewards, but take actions towards them. You see a reward, I want that, and you're willing to take the action step. Movement and coordination, okay? You ever heard of Parkinson's disease? This is classic dopamine problem with receptor sites. Motivation, behavior, and cognition, difficulty to make, you can't think straight. Those kinds of sleep troubles, mood troubles, attention and learning troubles, inhibition of prolactin production, which is involved in lactation for moms having babies. So you have trouble with prolactin, you can't make milk. Okay? Now, let's back up, okay? Because we're going to go back to the adrenals again. Now, the development of dopamine, okay? It starts off as an amino acid called tyrosine. Tyrosine becomes phenylalanine, and phenylalanine becomes dopamine, all right? Dopamine then becomes adrenaline. So in the beginning stages of chronic stress, what are you going to have high levels of? Dopamine and adrenaline, right? So you're going to be hyped up, spizzed up, and the excessive levels of dopamine is going to make you feel paranoid, and it's also going to make you angry. Coupled with adrenaline feelings, do you want to be around that person?
Nope.
I don't want to be around the Muppet with the knife. Do you? You get it? So that's dopamine. Now that's beginning, early stage. You're getting into you've been exposing yourself to chronic stress. You're starting to feel spizzed up all the time. You're angry and pissed off at everybody, and you're paranoid that people are going to, why'd you say that? I don't understand why you said that to me. Shut up, you're weird. Okay, it's a dopamine problem. Okay, but that's in the beginning. Okay, so you end up in the beginning, but then as the adrenals start to die, your tyrosine and phenylalanine, the dopamine starts to drop. So when dopamine drops, you're going to have mood swings, depression, anxiety, isolation, loss of interest, issues with motivation and ability to finish tasks, drop in sex drive, forgetfulness. People with low dopamine activities are more prone to addictive behavior. Okay, whether it's gambling or whatnot. When you get extreme depletion of that, you end up with pathological states such as schizophrenia, autism, and restless leg syndrome is tied to this as well because of the movement aspect of dopamine. Okay, make sense? So you see how it works? We start off with paranoia and anger, and then all of a sudden we're into I don't give a crap about nothing, and there's dopamine deficiency. That's the classic look right there. Okay, it's called a shuffling gait. And the repair of this is dopatone, okay? And that's on your paper, just like the serotonin and the others, okay? So, Adrenaline, fight or flight. This is the biggie right here. This is the one. We want to feel fight or flight. What do all these guys have in common? Anybody want to know what it is? What's the problem? Too much adrenaline or not enough? What would you guess? Too much, right? No, it's the exact opposite. If you are an adrenaline junkie, it's because you're trying to feel adrenaline rushes. Whether it's roller coasters or jumping off a cliff or whatever, bungee jumping or whatever, you're trying to get that juice because it feels so good. I want some juice. But what do you do if you do that? You're already depleted. You're going to further deplete your body. Okay? But I'm not saying not to do these things, because these are fun. This is my favorite thing to do. I love this stuff. Okay? I love it. But I make sure my adrenaline is adequate and able to handle it because I'm not burning out my adrenals. Okay? So low levels of the adrenalines lead to poor attention and memory. Remember, adrenaline's not a bad thing. When you're getting fight for a bear, do you want to have good attention and memory? Yeah. How do you run? How do you fight a bear? You know, those kinds of things you want right on the top of your brain, right? Decrease concentration. Oh, there's the bear. I wonder what that means. As the bear's mauling you, right? Reduce socialization. You don't want to socialize with the bear. Okay? Loss of alertness, memory problems, and brain fog, depression, pain, and lack of arousal and interest. They just don't care anymore. Okay? Now, again, remember we talked about in the beginning phases, right? We're kicking the adrenals hard. Dopamine's high. We have all of that. But now we have adrenaline high. This is the high levels of adrenaline. Remember we talked about depletion up to anxiety and panic attacks, palpitations, tachycardia, arrhythmia, headache, restlessness, cold hands, tremor, hypertension, acute pulmonary swelling. Okay? Make sense? So that's the panic attacks or the adrenaline feelings that we don't want to have. We want to have just, unless you're getting chased by a bear, I'd love to have these experiences, right? Because you want to have all these things so you can fight or run. We also end up irritable, anxious, agitated, sleeplessness, inability to relax, and lack of mental focus. Okay? That sound like anybody in this room? If it does, we got to get you adrenal energy and adrenal calm. Okay? Now, something about this is interesting because this kind of sounds like, well, Dr. You're telling me to turn on my adrenals and then take the same time turn off my adrenals. That doesn't make any sense, right? Because that's not really, I don't like the language, but that's what they call it. The adrenal energy is going to repair the vehicle. Okay, it's going to fix the damage to your adrenals. The adrenal calm is going to take away your car keys so you don't drive it too much. Do you understand? So this will fix your adrenals. That will take away the car keys so you stop pushing them so hard and allows them to recover. Right? So we don't want to push it too hard. Okay? Glutamate. Brain. This is all about brain This is an excitement. Who's heard of monosodium glutamate? MSG. Okay? They call that's on all your Chinese food. Now the sodium in it makes it taste like salt. So that's why they put it on there, because it's cheaper than sodium chloride, which is regular table salt. So they use MSG because it's cheaper, but it's an excitotoxin. Okay? It poisons the brain. It stimulates too much. It causes brain stimulation, which leads to all number of diseases, whether it's Alzheimer's, dementia, depression, anxiety, or even brain tumors. Okay? So stay away from MSG, but glutamate is a good thing if you're looking to get attention in your brain. Okay? So high levels of glutamate, you end up with anxiety. See some of the redundancies in the various neurotransmitters. Okay? So anxiety, insomnia, ADHD, poor concentration, seizures, ALS, autism, Alzheimer's. See it right there? Right? So glutamate, the excitotoxin, we got to bring that baby. So if that's too high, we have to calm it down. Now if you, for the same thing, if you're stimulating the brain so much, given enough time, it'll deplete out just like your adrenals, and you'll end up with low glutamate, which is depression, fatigue, brain fog, addiction, dependency, and slow learning. Okay? Glutamine becomes glutamate. Glutamine is the supplement that you need if you're having these problems. Okay? So that would be glutamine. That's what's going to help you with that. Glutamine becomes glutamate. Now watch this. Glutamate becomes GABA, which is the opposite of glutamate. Glutamate excites the brain. GABA chills you out. GABA aminobutyric acid makes you chill out, man. Okay? So that helps you calm down. Okay? So that GABA is the next one we want to focus on is GABA. It's the major inhibitory neurotransmitter of the brain. It's relaxing and calming, synthesized from glutamate, predominant receptor, GABA-A receptor sites in the brain. This is where benzodiazepines, your Xanaxes and whatnot, plug into. Often used to treat anxiety, seizures, a sedative or a muscle relaxer, off-label prescribing. But that's your Xanax right there, okay? So, but again, what you want is GABA plugging into a GABA-A receptor site because the brain manufactured it properly, not because you're poisoning it with a medication, right? So so this is low levels of GABA, panic and anxiety. Notice that glutamates and they're opposites, right? Because the low glutamate is low levels of GABA is high levels of glutamate and vice versa, see? So panic and anxiety attacks, depression, alcoholism, bipolar disorders, common from GABA. Low levels, elevated, drowsiness, lack of alertness, difficulty concentrating, diminished memory, dampening moods, and decreased cognition. Okay? Make sense? So again, you may have high glutamate in the brain because you're taking MSG with your Chinese food, and you're going, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Then the body says, we need some GABA to calm this thing down, so the brain starts making GABA to try to balance you out. But that's the whole idea. This whole thing about neurotransmitters, if you haven't heard it so far, is all about balancing out the brain, the body's transmitters. Getting everything working exactly like it's supposed to be. When the bear comes up, you're ready to fight. When the bear's gone, everything calms down, goes back to normal, right? Whatever it might be, okay? Gabatone. This sounds like you. Gabatone's going to get you settled, get your neurotransmitters high, okay? You guys saw this at the beginning. So again, you fill this out. So there's a 2, so I have difficulty concentrating. That's a 2 that's going to affect E, G, and A. E is epinephrine, that's your adrenaline. G is glutamate, and GABA is the 2, and you put 2 slashes because you picked 2. If you pick 3, you're going to put 3 slashes. If it doesn't exist at all, you put 0. You don't put anything, don't put any slashes. Add up all your slashes over here, slash, slash, slash. You get your totals, it'll tell you which one you're having troubles with. Which one to pick up. Make sense? All right. This is what the test report looks like. Okay? Now I want you to, now this is the actual testing. You did the testing, this is what I'm going to look at when I see it. Now based upon what you're reading here, serotonin is low. What is that going to feel like as a patient when they walk in? Well, how are you going to feel? Let's what we learned. What's that going to feel like? Depression, lack of motivation, maybe some GI problems, diarrhea, constipation, who knows? GABA is in the basement as well. Now what's GABA? Remember GABA is the chill out for the brain? So what's that going to cause? Elevated feelings of anxiety, panic, because it's the opposite, right? Then, but look what happens. Down here, glutamate is in neutral range. Okay, we also have depleted out, or excuse me, look at epinephrine and norepinephrine. Ho, ho, ho. Okay, so I don't have any chill out from GABA. I'm getting kicked in the butt with these adrenaline. What are you going to feel like? Oh my God, Dr. Ray, I don't know what's wrong with me. I can't sleep at night. I'm up all the time. I can't sleep. I don't know what's wrong with me. I think I need some Xanax or something. Okay, yeah, you probably do, or get your neurotransmitters balanced. You see? So you see how that's how it works. You just look at these things, and it makes pretty good sense when you tie it to a patient. Okay? Now, brain boosting smoothie. Okay? This is in your packet. If you don't have it, you should. Okay? This is a great way to boost your brain first thing in the morning. Okay? You get some avocado, banana, cup of blueberries, walnuts, scoop of some grass-fed whey protein, and then the stuff we have here, and then half a cup of water. Ice cubes makes it thick, and you drink it. Tastes really good too, by the way. Looks refreshing on a hot day, huh? There's a good thing for a smoothie, brain boosting smoothie. So, my brain is shutting down. What? It's in your packet, sweetie.
Which packet? What packet?
There's the front, there's the back. No worries, honey. All right, so let's move on, okay? So my brain is starting to decline. We saw the indications of a car problem. That's the cortisol activation response. This is signs of a declining brain. You forget where you put things, names, faces, important due dates, and appointments. So this is not dementia, but things aren't working so good in your brain, and we need to take action on it. Okay? Difficulty remembering conversations you recently had or things you just read. I can't remember things. CRS disease, can't remember stuff. Okay? You forget what you wanted to say mid-sentence. Have you happened to anybody? So, you know, I was thinking, I was wondering, I can't remember what I was thinking, okay? That's a classic of a declining brain, okay? You stumble on your words, okay? Sounds like me tonight, huh? Okay?
I need to ask something.
Sure.
I never used to have that, and since I've been hit over the head, why are all these things happening all of a sudden? I eat very well and very consciously, and all this happened just because I was hit over the head.
Bam.
No more. That's it.
Blunt head trauma, right? All this stuff with the NFL and all this stuff with closed head brain injuries, right? You're damaging the brain directly. That is very, very demanding, and that's very dangerous, because that can lead you down the path of some things. But that's what we're to understand, though. When that happens, what do we have to do? We have to reestablish the connection between the brain and the body. How do we do that? Adjustments, right? Because the environment has to make the information get back into the brain, and we'll start repairing the brain. Okay, it's called neuroplastic change. Then the brain will start getting proper responses, input, output. Remember the safety pin we talked about at the beginning? We got to close the safety pin and things will heal. It's amazing what a brain, there's been study after study after study, well before all this hype on closed head injuries, on chiropractic, fixing the closed head injury problems. Okay? You regularly experience brain fog where you can't think clearly, your thought process are slowed, or mercury. This is from an MD, Dr. Hinger, put that together. Okay? Steps, what are you going to do? Okay? So, tonight, okay, if you're having trouble managing your stress, whether you're spizzed up or burned out, that's going to pull it back to middle. That's the adaptocrine. Works very, very well. Had great feedback from patients on that. Okay? If you wake up in the morning exhausted, pick up your nitric balance and do your CAR, and if you can afford it, pick up the acetyl ACH, which is your acetylcholine, to bring it down throughout the day. Okay? If you can get the testing, get it. Now what you're going to get, guys, is a voucher. So the way it'll work, you'll get your testing tonight. Doctor, I can't pick up my supplements at a discount. Yes, you can. You'll pick up the voucher tonight, and then we'll get the test results in. I'll put together a protocol. I'll give it to you, and you'll buy the supplements with the discount coupon, same as you did it tonight. Okay? That way you're not going to lose the discount by not picking them up tonight. Okay? If you're on a budget, I understand, it's okay. Complete the neurotransmitter quiz that I gave you. Do all your hash marks, add up the numbers, and give it to the team, and they'll tell you what to get. Okay? It's really that simple. Okay?
What's the testing?
The testing, guys, I told you this morning, now I forgot. You're 318? Yeah, 318. I have brain trauma too.
Take that.
Okay. So, $318. Okay, it's expensive, but is it worth it? You know, that's really what it comes down to. Okay? All right. So, I'll leave that up there for posterity. And now, before you run off, okay, remember, you're not going to escape. You have to go through my office. Okay? So just like church, okay, we don't run out crazy. So front row's going to lead. You're going to lead us out. It's usually Mary. Thanks for messing up my trend. Okay? You're going to go through the office there, turn left, and you're going to meet at the corner. And at that corner, there's going to be a person there with a stop sign. Do not pass the stop sign or Dr. Tom will smack you. Okay? And we'll work you guys through. Now, with that said, okay, for people that already have their supplements, they did what's called pre-sale. They filled out their questionnaires, they had a protocol they wanted to purchase, they have their lifetime supplements, they've already got them ready in the back. You will skip the line, you'll go through the office still, you'll walk, you're going to work your way through the line, and go to the front and you'll say, I'm a pre-sale, and you'll sneak right by. Okay? And you're going to be all upset. How do I do pre-sale? That's how you do it, get it ahead of time. Okay? Make sense? Everybody good? Now before you leave, we are going to do a drawing to see who wins. What are we giving away? Ooh, a bottle of adaptocrine. It's awesome. I know, that person didn't win. Was it you? Was it? That's hilarious. All right, Pat, you won. Where's Pat? I saw her. Where are you? Pat Sweat? Pat! There she is right there. Give her a round of applause. She won! Cool? All right, so go ahead. Oh, what? Oh, what is that? Okay, come on, Mary's back too. Okay. Okay, go ahead and lead us. Go ahead and lead us out right there. Now, if you guys have questions as I release people, please work right to the front and line up right here. You guys can ask me any questions you want about other things, other concepts, other protocols, or things tonight. Thank you. Okay, and just follow Mary right through the office there. Lead her out there, Miss Brown. Okay, just follow the leader. Follow the leader. Learn something? Okay, learn something? I never get to see you guys anymore. Saturday, people. All right. Oh, question? Okay. Now just follow right in behind them, okay? So follow right in behind the next line. Keep going right through the office. Okay, question?
What did doctor see?
Good job. Right hand. Question? No? No question? No question? Okay. Good. Get in right behind them. Go ahead.
No, yeah, I'm going this way.
voy a decir que si no tomo me todo esto me se le achica, ¿verdad? Sus ojos le caen, se le cae. Con el dolor de cabeza. Pues que luego le ves la... Sí, sus ojos. Ajá.
You know what it is first? If you ever and then just see like she said, you're
Ande después, nos vemos. Igualmente, a ver cuándo nos vemos.
I'm gonna guess this is the same as it's usually first thing in the morning. So you usually don't get it
A ver si quieren preguntar. Excuse me, sorry.
Let's move it out of your way.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So
Like I never used to get together every Monday. I turned my pen like and then it now I gotta keep up. My brain is functioning. I gotta figure out. I don't even know who I am. But you know what? I would probably, you know,
Aaron, you're the best, dude.
You're welcome. So if you do it like, if you do it on a shirt, you can bend it on a shirt. Yeah, you bend it on. Yeah, you can use your thing. And it tells you, and there's and then we can send
Dark, blue, white.
Yeah, I mean, that's usually a lot of light. Because they don't overstimulate or But I have to get tested.
don't get stuck.
I'm pretty sure. I'm really sure it's that. I think it's
Good.
So, waking up
Yeah,
at
get
4
that.
a.m., stimulate the power system.
You wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and then you kind of drift back off, and then you wake up and cross.
It's really weird. I go to the couch and do it for an snoring.
Now, how do you feel when you wake up? You feel rested?
I always hate that.